The real estate market right now is as confusing as it's going to get. In this video, you're going to learn what a dead cat bounce is, and I'm going to tell you what's happening on the ground floor right here in Toronto and York region. Hi, my name is Vas, and I'm a chartered professional accountant by training. However, I am a full-time real estate broker right here in the GTA. I've built and invested in real estate in Toronto, York region, and in secondary markets. I'm very active on the buy side with clients that they're looking to buy residential real estate right now, and I have to say it is extremely challenging. We're once again seeing fear of missing out happening, especially in the last 10 days, roughly, where we have, 5 to 10 offers coming in on offer nights. I've even seen offer nights getting pulled ahead because of bully offers, something that we did not see for the last 6 months easily. So we're seeing a lot of the COVID behavior come back. I don't think this is going to be sustained. For starters, I need to provide you with some context. Typically, between August and September, we're entering one of our busiest times in real estate. So September is usually fairly active, and usually prices will creep up seasonally. This is just seasonality. It's been happening for decades between August and September and going into October, and then it tapers off and prices on average go back down. So seasonally, despite what the market's doing, we should in theory see prices go up. Now, we've obviously had a lot of negative news. We've had rate hikes here in Canada. We've had the Federal Reserve in the States also be very aggressive with their rate hikes. We know what's coming. And the second rate hikes are confirmed or set, purchasing power is going to decrease and people are going to have a harder time qualifying. I'm already seeing it with some of my clients who have to get pre-approved because their old rate holds are expiring and, their purchasing power is lowering. That being said, we did expect to see prices to go up in September. However, I will show you some of the underlying patterns on the ground floor and what they're doing to actual prices. So let's take a look at some of my favorite charts. These are from Ivan on Twitter. So these are mid-month stats for September, where he pulls the data for the first 2 weeks of September and he presents it so that we can kind of see a trend in terms of what the month is doing. So as you'll see right now, this is the average price for GTA all home types. So this is very high level. It doesn't really tell us much, but directionally it's telling us that, okay, prices are fairly stable, dropping a little bit, but it looks like we're kind of flat right now. Here's the one that caught me off guard. Condos for the first 2 weeks on average are actually going up in price. I don't think this is going to be a trend going forward. I think it's going to be short-lived. However, I was a little bit surprised. But at the same time, if you really think about it, back to what I said, seasonally prices do go up in September. So I guess we should have expected it, but I thought the negative news that we've had on interest rates would probably put a damper on this. Maybe not. Maybe because this is still one of the more affordable asset classes. People are still going to condos and they didn't go up as much during COVID. So potentially that could explain why they're actually doing fairly well right now. How long this is going to last? Hard to say. I don't think it's going to last personally. One more thing of note, because rents are going up as well, it's kind of creating this false dichotomy that maybe they make better investment sense. They don't. I've looked at the investment profiles of condos right now. Even with higher rent, they're actually much worse off as an investment simply because the interest rates are so high that they eat away at quite a bit of the profit that you would otherwise make. Now here where it gets confusing, and this is on the detached side, this is where I'm active right now, especially in York region, but let's start with Toronto. The first 2 weeks of September, it looks like we have a drop in price going into the middle of September, so we're back to call it July numbers. I don't think this is where September is going to end. I think this is actually going to be higher than August, so it's potentially going to increase. We're going to wait and see, but based on what I'm seeing right now, the behavior, the bidding wars, and the craziness, I'll show you 2 examples at the end of this video. I think this is actually, we're going to end the month of September at a much higher price. Once again, York region, this is where I'm most active. All home types, it's showing that prices are going down. Based on what I'm seeing, all the offers I've been involved in myself that, I thought we were putting in market value offers. We did not win them, and somebody, or at least in many cases, I feel people overpaid or at least paid over market, and I think that's going to reflect with a higher average price for York region by the time September is closed. Now let me show you a quick trend. So this is Broker Bay data for showings for York region from August until now. So during August we were at about 900 showings at the peak on a daily basis, and right now showings are creeping up to about 1,000. This week right here has not ended yet. This is going to probably be over 1,000 on a peak day. What this means is that we're getting more traffic through homes, so essentially roughly over 10% more traffic. But here's what's more important. While showings are going up, offers are going up a lot more than showings, meaning that for every showing you're getting now, the probability of getting an offer is much higher. And here's what I mean. This is what I've been seeing on the ground floor, and broker base supports it. So we used to get, call it 50 to 70 offers on a peak day in terms of offers in August. Right now, we peaked out at close to 105 offers potentially on a peak day for this first week of September, and the week is not over, and I think offers are actually continuing to climb based on behavior I'm seeing, especially in the last 4 days. I've put in a number of offers, and I was definitely not the only one. It was totally normal to see 5+ offers on any property that had an offer night. Fear of missing out is picking up again because we don't have that much inventory available, so whatever houses are available, people are starting to jump in and pay over what I think they're worth. And you have to be cautious here because 2 months from now or 3 months from now when you're closing, are they going to be worth this when we know rates continue to go up? I don't know. This is a big risk. I think people and buyers especially need to be very careful what they're getting themselves into, because I think this behavior is going to be counterproductive and it's going to work against you in a few short months. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. One of these homes I was going to bid on, the one on the left. These homes were actually right across the street from each other. So as you can see, one was listed at $1,088,000 with an offer night. This one had a bully offer and then it turned into a bit of a disaster. As you can see, it sold for $1.453. This one was listed at $1.479. It's out on the market. It sold the same day as this one for $1.35. The one on the right was actually bigger from what I remember. The one on the left was probably a little bit nicer. It was better renovated, but I would call these equivalent homes for the most part. There's definitely not $100,000 difference, but it just goes to show you how much volatility there is between homes right now. This is the same street, and there's a discrepancy of $100,000, and they both sold pretty much on the same day. This is definitely not the time to be aggressive. You have to be careful because you don't want to get caught up in emotion when buying. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm always happy to chat real estate, and be careful out there. I think those that are going to win are going to be the ones that are patient because, like I said, based on rate hikes, I don't see how we can sustain the current prices, and there's a lot of downward price pressure, especially as we go into the winter. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.